Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Tina Alston. I'm a student at CPCC and I currently work as a nurse manager in geriatrics. Have you ever had a tune in your head and you couldn't remember its name? And now imagine months go by, years even, and you still can't remember its name. That's what aphasia feels like. Like having a constant tune stuck in your head and never remembering its name. Today I will discuss the symptoms, causes, and effects of aphasia. Aphasia is a communication disorder that affects millions of people. It is traumatic, debilitating, and degrading, and it is absolutely life-changing for the individual and for their loved ones. Oliver David, a reporter for USA Today, in his 2023 article, Bruce Willis and My Father Share an Aphasia Diagnosis, had this advice to give when his father had aphasia. Remember that he's still their dad. First, what is aphasia? Aphasia is a neurological disorder that causes complications with communication. It can inhibit a person's ability to comprehend speech, complicates the flow of speech, and make it difficult to read and write. Aphasia does not change or affect a person's intelligence. In fact, people with aphasia are just as smart as they were before. In some cases, though, the individual may not be aware that they have aphasia. In fact, Brooke Hollowell, an expert in communication and aphasia, in her 2019 book, Aphasia and Other Neurogenic Disorders, states they also tend to lack awareness of their deficit. When encountering a person with aphasia, there are 4 common symptoms. The first symptom that you might notice is difficulty finding words, recalling the names of objects. Secondly, their words may be jumbled. For example, they may say "piapel" instead of "people." Thirdly, because they have trouble associating words with their meaning, they may have difficulty reading. And lastly, they may have difficulty writing words. You will notice here words written out of order and the wrong words written. This all depends on which part of the brain was damaged, which brings me to the causes of aphasia. There are 3 main causes of aphasia. The first and most common is stroke. A stroke is a health condition where blood flow to the brain is restricted, and this cuts off oxygen supply to the brain, causing damage. When the language area of the brain is damaged, this results in aphasia. Secondly, aphasia can be caused by brain infections like encephalitis and meningitis. Lastly, traumatic brain injuries caused by car accidents, sports injuries, and blunt force trauma can also cause aphasia. With all this in mind, let's explore how aphasia affects a person's quality of life. People with aphasia are at high risk for depression. According to Buena Guerra, an expert in psychology, in her 2024 article, Impact on Post-Stroke Aphasia and Functional Communication, Quality of Life, Perception of Health, and Depression, she states, post-stroke aphasia is associated with reduced quality of life and higher risk of depression. Aphasia victims may have poor self-image. Often they are treated like children, which is degrading and can lead to poor self-esteem. This is why awareness is important. They may also suffer from financial stresses. Having aphasia costs lots of money because they have to take months of therapy and pay for medical care. Having aphasia also contributes to relationship stress. Caring for loved ones while working and paying endless medical bills can stress the relationship dynamic. It may be difficult to maintain a compassionate perspective with the increased amount of responsibility. Some people with aphasia live in areas where family support and resources aren't available. They also may feel like no one can understand what they're really going through, and this leads to loneliness. In summary, aphasia is a communication disorder that affects millions of people. It not only affects speech, but reading and writing as well. Lives are changed, physically, financially, and emotionally. Remember, aphasia is caused by stroke, injuries, and brain infections, and can lead to depression and a decreased quality of life. I implore you to act today and join me in creating awareness about aphasia and how it affects people and their family members. Share what you've learned today to advocate for those who cannot advocate for themselves. Remember, a person with aphasia still is the same person as they were before. Treat and talk to them like adults. Keep in mind that stroke is the #1 cause for aphasia, and adopting a healthy lifestyle can prevent stroke. Thank you for your time and attention. I hope you feel encouraged to share what you've heard today.